Hello everyone, I'm Dihia Lanasri, second year PhD student from EASY Algeria, presenting you our work entitled Trust-Aware Curation of Linked Open Data, Load Logs, a work I did with Dr. Khoury from EASY and Professor Beltorche from ENSMA, France. Start by defining the trustworthiness concept as the subjective probability with which an agent expects that another agent will perform a particular action. Trust is one of the crucial issues for developing data-driven systems. Using data that we trust ensures making accurate decisions. Consequently, it has been widely discussed in literature in many fields like information systems and social networks. In big data, it's related to veracity, and it is considered in knowledge bases, in particular in load, which is our context of study. To provide a clear conceptualization of trust concept, some studies have provided dedicated ontologies of trust. These ontologies are useful and need to be instantiated according to the studied field. This effort is also required in our context of load, where trust has been associated to different concepts like ownership and quality. We distinguish two main approaches: an a priori integration of trust in both datasets like TRDF and queries with T-Sparkle, a posteriori annotation of their provenance and quality using ETL and curation tools. The exploitation of load dataset generates a large amount of Sparkle query logs, representing valuable source of data. They have been used for different purposes such as statistical analysis, source selection, and multidimensional exploration. This is an example of Sparkle query from Scholarly Data Log. However, this log presents serious trust issues, making their direct use risky, because they are usually published by unknown, less credible users who may provide inaccurate queries. Moreover, their expertise level may affect strongly the quality. A posteriori management of trust in load logs is required. To achieve this goal, we define the concept of trust and we propose curation approach in load logs context. To achieve the first goal, we propose an ontology-based meta-model of trust in load logs. We consider as a foundation a fragment of reference ontology of trust provided by Amaral. In their ontology, trust is linked to truster and the trustee. It's composed of a set of capability and vulnerability beliefs to perform the desired action. Vulnerability is manifested by risk events. In our context, the truster is the data analyst who wants to exploit load logs, which represent the trustee. The capability belief is related to the set of queries generated in the logs, and the vulnerability belief is related to logs risk dimensions. Two dimensions are considered: veracity and quality issues. The data curation approach, composed of ETL operators, will be defined as a curation action for each risk. Our curation approach requires two steps: log profiling of Sparkle queries and the definition of ETL operators. The log profiling approach is inspired from data profiling field. Two main dimensions of risk are identified: log veracity, to deeply identify the provenance and behavior of query logs; log quality, three types of analysis are considered: single query to detect errors, queries interaction to understand their behavior, and logs interaction to identify semantic overlap. For each risk dimension, we associate an ETL operator. These operators can be orchestrated to form an ETL pipeline. To validate our approach, we considered two logs related to research field: 139,000 Sparkle queries from Scholarly Data Log and more than 6,000 Sparkle queries from Wikipedia. We identify two metrics: number of trusted queries, calculating the curated queries, parsed by ETL operators and annotated by a trust degree. We notice that the number of queries declines, keeping more trusted ones after each operator. The second metric is rate of trust, which computes the global trust rate for each query log. This metric is improved from 79% to achieve 99% for scholarly data, and from 56% to 97% for Wikipedia. To conclude, there is an inverse relationship between these two metrics. When the number of trusted queries decreases, the rate of trust is enhanced. It means that the process discards all untrusted queries. Moreover, we developed a trust-based curation suite tool supporting our approach. Load logs are rich sources to be exploited for data analysis, but their trust is questionable. For this, we propose an ontology-based modeling of the concept of trust for load logs and a trust-based curation approach for logs based on log profiling and ETL-like mechanism. Some experiments are performed and a tool is developed. As perspective, we propose to consider the trust of load datasets and trust ponderation, and to study the impact of trust logs for